moving from end to defensive tackle. And it's Richmond on the end around, and they were not fooled by all the trickery. Sherrod Davis, the cornerback, drops him for a loss of about 5.
I'll tell you, Owens does a great job of holding his responsibility. Number 4 coming into your picture right here, getting away from blockers and able to knock, number 8, Sherrod Davis, thank you, was able to knock the ball carrier down.
First down, San Jose State, and they're going to throw a pass for a touchdown. They threw a lateral, and then David Richmond caught the touchdown pass from Brandon Rutley. Chronic pain, but he's out there tonight playing with an injury-depleted offensive line. They lost Cole Popovich, a guard for the year. Screen to Anthony Harding. He bounced off a hit. Looked like he took a shot in the head, but spun forward for 2 more. Brand Stater out of the shotgun, given plenty of time, and it is intercepted. Second and 7. Flynn, the late pitch, too late. He got hit, and there's an errant pitch, and Fresno State looked like they had it, but it squirted out. They might have got it after the squirt as well, and they did. Looked like Moses Harris finally came up with the football. Redshirt freshman, he's got plenty of leg. He made a 58-yarder, longest in school history, and that was to beat Utah State. They were down by a point, the final buzzer, when he drilled that 58-yarder in Logan. He makes this 44-yarder, and Fresno State is on the board. Kevin Gessling kicks off. It's a short kickoff down to Brandon Rutley. He's trying to cross the field. Terrible tackling by Fresno State, and here comes Rutley. All the way to the Fresno State 33-yard line.
The most important play, or at least the longest play from scrimmage so far.
San Jose State still cannot rush the ball. 110th in the country coming in. They thought they might be able to get it going tonight against the 109th rush defense, but they have not. And Giannis Davis went down hard. He went into Cornell Banks. Part of the 3-man rotation at nose tackle for the Bulldogs.
And this is where Giannis doesn't see his vision. And Cornell catches him square and on target. A good job by the offense of San Jose State to pick up the blitz, allowing Flynn to hang in there.
There's Giannis Davis. Still nothing doing on the ground for the Spartans. Kyle Knox drove him back. And Flynn waited and waited, and finally is getting his chance as the 3rd different starting quarterback this season. In his 3rd year at San Jose State. And he is sacked, and the ball came out. He got back on it. First sack of the night for Fresno State. And that's a rarity. They're only 98th in the country in sacks. Chris Carter and Kyle Knox got there.
Monday Night Football. They're going to show blitz, and they shoot back out of it. Yep, there they go.
They haven't converted on 3rd down tonight. 0 for 5. Brandstater with time this time, and they have their first down of the night. Devin Wiley nearly to midfield. Swung down by Devin Newsom, the safety. 24-yard gain, and with 5.5 minutes to go till the half, finally a first down for the Bulldogs.
The past 2 plays, Pat Hill ripped his headsets off and gave Brandstater the fisheye. This time he's clapping his hands because that was a well-thrown ball and a big play. Have been evident.
Second and 8. Richmond trying to escape, and he cannot. Damian Owens had him in the grasp and wouldn't let go. Here's Rock. And they reinforce it over and over and over again. Blitz. And a deep ball by Brandstater, and it is caught. Nice catch in traffic by Chaston West for a 12-yard gain.
Let's say this is where Christopher Owens struggles a little bit, being 5'9". And West uses his body well, gets position. See, Owens tried to go through him, cannot because of the position of Chaston West.
Jose State record shared by 4 players. It gives Fresno State a first down. Nearing 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. San Jose State leads 10-3. Anthony Harding Bounces off a couple of hits. One of the few examples of poor tackling by the Spartans tonight. And Jerron Gilbert finally made the tackle.
Well, you have Duke Iheanacho coming up, the safety, becoming the 8th man in the box. And he's there to make the play, but Anthony Harding slid by him. Look at Duke right here. He's in position to make the play. He's unblocked. When you're the unblocked player, you got to make a play, and he rarely misses. And Anthony Harding gave him a nice little leg.
Eden was the starter in their opener. He was ineffective. Kyle Reed came off the bench in that game, led them to a come from behind victory. He remained the starter but got hurt. So they turned to Flynn. Chasten West weaving through. Inside the 30. Inside the 10. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Fresno State.
Well, we talked about it in the first half about the punt being the most important part of this football game because of the lack of offense. Field position, the ball's kicked low. You have San Jose State guys all in one area. Nobody's staying in their lanes. Chasten West has a host of Bulldogs leading him into the end zone, able to keep his feet and create points off of special teams and field position.
36-yard punt, 49-yard return for a touchdown by West. Second punt return for a score this year for Fresno State. Rashad Evans had the other against Louisiana Tech.
Well, the San Jose Pro Soccer team used to play here at Spartan. I believe they were the Earthquakes.
There's Miller for a first down, and now they're in the field goal range just inside the 30. Maynard Camp, the fullback, with a good block, and clearly they are establishing a little something here on the run.
You know what?
Well, they're going back to Pat Hill football. 8 plays on this drive, all of them rushes. And here comes the 9th, and it's Miller with a gaping hole, running hard for another first down. One of the few times tonight you really do see that emotion, even on the players now on the sideline. Yeah. Devin Newsom saved a touchdown.
There's not much dancing right here, and you're getting good blocking up front. And you're seeing guys for Fresno State's offensive line.
San Jose State reeling for the first time tonight on defense. They call timeout with 12 and a half to go. Fresno State poised to take the lead. Fresno State and San Jose State tied at 10. 12 and a half to go. Fresno State, its best drive of the night by far, poised to take the lead. Here's Jamal Rashad for 7 more. Down to the 8-yard line. For the first time tonight, San Jose State's getting the ball run right down its throat. Keith Burns, the defensive coordinator, calls the timeout. Then watch him gesturing to the other sideline like, bring it on. And the next thing you know, words are being exchanged from the coaching staffs across the field.
And they're still jabbering at it. And I like the timeout that Burns took. It's like a basketball team going on a run to settle your guys down.
They have more yards of offense on this drive than they had all night long prior to this drive, and the impressive drive ends with a touchdown by Anthony Harding. And Pat Hill yells back across the sideline to the far side for him. Bring it on.
You see Dick Tomey right there talking to Keith Burns, his defensive coordinator, because Keith Burns went to the other sidelines and started motioning again. He needs to get his guys fixed, because right there, that was a great kick-out block by Charlie Robbins, creating space so Harding can sneak through to the end zone.
And for a lot of the night, that Fresno State sideline, with the exception of Pat Hill, looked pretty flat. He's got them all revved up now, and his motor's running as hot as it can be. And I think you're right. I mean, it's one thing if you keep Burns, you want to get your team motivated, but there comes a time when some of it is kind of weak, if you ask me.
Yeah, Bradford. I'm one. Sam Bradford decides to come out. I believe he'll be the first overall pick in the NFL draft. I think he's that good. Matt Ryan-like.
8.5 minutes to go. Brandstater throws back to Bear Pasco. Nice call and well executed, and another first down for Fresno State. Finding its offense here in the 4th quarter. 17-yard completion to the senior Bear Pasco.
Well, they caught him. You'll see a bunch of people coming on a blitz outside here. Dookie and Nacho's running off with the wide receiver. Brent Stater does a good job of getting depth, allowing him to throw to Bear Pasco. And Dookie and Nacho coming up on carry.
Up the phone and called Dick Tomey and gave Francis a solid recommendation. He's really a good kid. He made one really bad mistake. He makes the tackle, but this time he's on the hitting end as Jamal Rashad ran him over.
I think Pat Hill has a smile on his face. Why? Because this is Fresno State football. And you see the Spartan defense starting to wear down. Not getting off blocks. And Corey Francis gets his feet caught up a little bit. And Rashad.
Scene was ignited when Keith Burns, the defensive coordinator for San Jose State, started hollering across the field at the Fresno State sideline. Anthony Harding, nice moves, he will score! Touchdown, Fresno State! And Pat Hill looks over again to the Spartan sideline. I think that was a message to Keith Burns. If you want to talk, you and your group better back it up, and they have not backed it up at all.
And again, it's the same play. Just a nice little power O scheme. Anthony Harding with fresh legs. Slippery fella. Good stop and go. Acceleration through the hole. Celebrate with your teammates.
Flynn, who wants to be a coach someday, flushed from the pocket. He's in trouble, and that looks like grounding, and here comes the flag.
Boise and ruined somebody else's BCS hopes.
And that might be for a chance to get into the BCS bowls for Boise State. If things break right for them tomorrow, they would seem to need a BYU win over Utah. Pat Hill and his Bulldogs make the 3-hour trip in the San Joaquin Valley over to the Bay Area, and he shakes hands with his longtime friend, whom he once served as an assistant, Dick Tomey, who suffers a crushing loss. Keith Burns laughing about it now, but it wasn't funny earlier, that's for sure.